Let's imagine for a moment that you're a 12-year-old boy or girl living in the United States. And let's think about their life. And let's think about all the things that could potentially keep them busy. Of course, they have school and homework, but they also have, I made a list, sports, TV, bikes, Xbox, YouTube, hoverboards, fiction books, Roblox, movies, smartphones, PlayStation, Fortnite, and of course, friends. And I think you see my point. That's a lot of distractions. A kid in this country with all these distractions could possibly grow up all the way to college and never be asked about the big three questions of life. What are the big three questions, you say? Well, 1, is there a creator? 2, if so, did the creator communicate with us? And 3, if so, how did the creator communicate with us? I thought of this because I was one of those kids. I was never taught these questions in school. I was never asked these questions by my parents. And I didn't think about these extremely important questions till I was already past college. And that's an adult. That's crazy late. Why late? Because the older one gets, the more habits he or she develops. And without a mechanism or filter to tell me what is right and wrong, it is more likely that one will develop bad habits as opposed to good ones. So in this video, I'm going to answer for you what I'm calling the big three questions. And more importantly, I'm going to show you why they're so important. Make sense? Let's get into it. All right, question number 1. Is there a creator? Were we created? Was the universe created? Is there God? These are all really the same question, and there's more than one way to answer this question. I look at this question as a diamond in light. Every time you turn the diamond, you get a new angle. Turn, new angle. Turn it again, new angle. But all the angles lead to the same center, same conclusion. My point is, the angle that I'm going to share with you in this video is the way I intellectually connect with this question. But if my answer doesn't make sense to you, no problem. Do some research, turn that diamond, find a new angle, because there's ample evidence in life. But definitely try to answer the question and find your intellectual connection. That being said, for us it's simple. It all rests on this definition of what a system is. A system is a group of parts that act together within a relationship and are organized for a common purpose. Now let's apply that definition to this. If you think about it, a car is a very sophisticated machine for sure, but it's not a system. A car is what I'm calling a super system. In other words, an average car is made up of over 12 separate systems that are all connected together and work together to become what we call today a car. And that's why I'm referring to it as a super system. Now, no rational or sane person on earth would look at the sophistication and complexity of a car and would claim that that car came into existence by accident. For example, let's say I take 100 men, right? 100 of my friends, which I probably gonna make a lot of calls because I don't have 100 friends, but I take these friends and then we all stand around and we take car parts and we throw them in the center, And for this, you have to suspend belief for a second because, of course, where did I get the car parts from? But putting that aside, we all keep doing this. We keep doing this. Will we eventually ever get this? 100%, nobody would say yes. A car is too interconnected. It is obviously designed or created. Now let's just apply the same intellectual logic to this. The universe, Earth, nature, and all of Earth's millions of species is made up of hundreds of systems and super systems. And all these systems are connected together for a common goal. Just like the design behind a car has one common goal, so does Earth. What's the goal? To sustain life in all its forms. The best way to understand how amazing, complex, and interconnected Earth really is just to look at a modern 5th grade science book. It'll state something like the following. Life on Earth can be thought of as a complex web of natural systems, all interconnected and interdependent to form a holistic system. In other words, the world might be considered a living, breathing organism, irreducible to its parts. What affects one part affects all parts. So this super system here, with its only 12 systems, is created, we all agree. But this super system here, with its hundreds of systems and insanely more complex than a car, not created? I'll tell you what, sometimes in order to understand the question better, you gotta look the question backwards. So let's reverse the equation. If we go back to the car and take out one of its systems, like let's take out the electrical system, what will happen? I'll tell you what, the car will not work because it needs all its systems to achieve its main goal. Now let's do the same to Earth. And we won't take away the obvious ones, like we take away the sun, we die. We take away gravity, we die. We take away our species' respiratory systems, we die. No, we're gonna keep it simple. Let's just take away this guy. This annoying, scary pest of an insect is part of Earth's pollination system. And while the death of all bees wouldn't wipe out the human race, it would severely alter our Earth's food chain in a drastic way. And it's a perfect example of how interconnected the world really is. So back to question number 1. Were we created? We could say with intellectual clarity, 100% yes. Next question. Hey gang, I try my best to keep these videos tight, concise, and to the point. That way they're not too long, they're not too bored. So what I've done is I've chopped this up into 3 pieces, and in each part we'll talk about one of the big questions like we just did. That being said, hopefully I've hooked you enough. If you want to see part 2, click on the link above or in the description below. All right, see you in part 2.